We finished repairing your 1973 Nishijin B Pachinko machine, and this quick start guide will show you how to set it up and play. Okay, on the back of the machine, the top right, there's a metal weight here. It's flipped over. It needs to be flipped over to the left. Just flip that down. Then you have this arm here. This controls a drain when you want to drain the balls out of your machine. We have to lock it so that when we add balls they don't fall out. You lock it by just pushing this metal tab over until it engages with that part there. Okay. Now the most common problem with Pachinko machines is what's called the one ball seesaw. Inside this clear plastic area there is a white rectangular piece of plastic that pivots because it has two Pachinko balls in it, so it pivots up and down. And right now that's in the down position where the right side is down. In that position, balls will start to back up in your machine. You won't get any jackpots, the lights won't flash, nothing will happen. So you want to reset that seesaw into the correct position. And the way you do it, just below all of this, there's a little pin here. And if you just push up on this pin, it resets the seesaw. Now while you can play the machine without any electricity at all, you do have this transformer that you can plug into an extension cord or to an outlet, and when you do, it controls the lights. And immediately a light came up here in this top corner, and that light comes on when there aren't any balls in the top tray. So if the yellow light on front comes on in the top corner, you need to stop playing and refill your machine. There's also lights in here and a couple lights over here that will flash as you get jackpots. So you can see the yellow light in the top corner. That says you need to refill the machine with balls. There's also another way to tell that you need to refill your machine, and that's just inside of this little window here. There's a little silver sign, has an anchor on it, and when that sign drops down, that also tells you you need to refill the balls. And once you fill the machine with balls, the sign will just lift up out of the way. We'll just add a few balls to your play tray here. Now we'll add some balls to the supply tray. They'll run down this track. These little levelers will bring the balls down to one level high as they make the turn. They'll come across here and then they'll enter into this jackpot assembly where they'll wait until you get a jackpot. As we pour them, you'll see the light flicker and go out. Okay, the light didn't go out because the bar came off of the switch. And let me just zoom in and show you that. So there is a bar right here, a little metal wire, and the switch is right below it. And so that bar needs to be under that switch so that it turns it off. And so when there's no balls in the machine, it lifts up, and when you add balls it closes. Next you'll take your bucket, you'll set it down here on the back on the board so that it catches balls falling here and balls falling here. And if you leave some balls in the bucket, then they won't bounce out as much as if the bucket is empty. To play Pachinko, you just take your finger and put it up against this chrome post here, finger rest bar. Then you take your thumb and put it on top of the flipper, and then you're going to pull the flipper all the way down and then slide your thumb off the flipper. And when you do, the spring will pull the flipper up and it'll launch a ball up around this track. It'll hit a bumper here, bounce back on the playfield. It'll ping past the nails. The round spinners will redirect the ball, and you hope the ball goes into any one of these pockets or tulips or the main attraction. And if you do, you win. The lights will flash, you'll get a jackpot, balls will pour out here, and no matter which one of those it goes in, the same thing happens. You get the same number of balls. If you miss all of those and the ball drops all the way to the bottom, it'll exit through this hole here and fall into the bucket in the back of the machine. Now, we did remove a couple of nails here and here to increase the odds of winning a jackpot. The first time you play, after loading your machine, nothing will happen because it's loading a ball into the shooter lane. Now when we shoot, we had the ball go in this pocket here, and it was open like this one. When they're open and a ball goes in, they close. If they're closed and a ball goes in, they open. You saw the lights flash here and here, and we got a payout. Let's just play for a little bit. Okay, we got several jackpots. These closed, open and closed, and then this one was open, so I was trying to get a ball there. So what I was doing was aiming, as I was just pulling down part way instead of all the way to get the ball just to come up a little bit and then drop, aiming for this pocket. If you ever need to get inside your machine, you need to open this play field door here or the play tray door. There is a loop on the back of the machine right here where my finger is. And what you can do is you can stick your finger in it or just below it, and you're going to lift up. And when you lift up, the door will pop open. And so now we can open that door and we get access to inside of here. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But to close it, all you do is bring it back together, and there are two latches here and here. So what I do is I squeeze both at the same time until it's locked. Now, depending on where you get a ball, if a tulip is closed, like they all are now, it will open. So I'm going to drop one in this top pocket on the left. And the right one will probably open that. Now you have 5 lanes in here. The center one is A. The two next to it are B, and the outside ones are C, and they correspond with the, you can see the B and the C there. I'll drop one first in the A. I'll drop one in the B, either side will work. Now, since we didn't do a full restoration where we take apart everything on your machine and clean it, sometimes the balls may get stuck, which is what happened there. So if you pop open the door and you tap it, it might get it to roll free. I'm going to go ahead and pull off these tulips before we send it out to you and make sure those are good and clean. But as I said before, we didn't clean all the mechanics of the back. You take all that apart. Let me drop one in this B over here. I'll do the C. Okay, and lastly we'll drop one here. And open both of those. Okay, so we've got a lot of jackpots now, and so if you've won a lot of jackpots, a couple things. First, the balls will start to back up here, and if you get enough jackpots, what will happen is that the balls need to autofocus this kind of. Okay, one fell down. So anyway, once this top tray fills up, then they'll flow down here into a receiving tray. Okay, now if you're needing to refill the machine because the light comes on in the top corner, to get the balls out of here, you slide this lever over and then they'll flow from here to here. Now, when there's a lot of balls here, the weight of them may cause them to jam, so you might have to take your finger and loosen the balls to get them to flow. Now you can scoop those out into the bucket and refill the back of the machine. Okay, now I've emptied all the balls. I want to show you how to open this play tray. So if ever something gets in here, carpet fuzz, oversized marbles or something, and you need to clean out a jam here, after opening the play field door, you open the play tray door by pushing down on this metal latch right here, and as you push down, grab the play tray and swing the door open, and that'll give you access to the machine. Usually there's a ball sitting in the shooter lane. You can just pick that up. And let me show you the ball loading assembly on the back of the door. So as I pull down on the flipper, there's a piece of plastic here. Let me zoom in. And that piece of plastic moves a lever on the back of the ball loading assembly here. So I'll flip again. So that plastic that pivots engages with a plastic arm here. There's a metal weight there, and it pulls it down, and it kicks out a ball and it kicks it into the shooter lane. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get all these balls out in case I have a clear jam. Now what you can do right here on the end is you can pinch these two and swing this open, and that gives you access in case you need to clean anything out of here. And to close it, you just push it closed, and then when we close the playfield door, you might just have to lift up just a tad as you're closing, and also push down on that latch that we used when we opened it. Okay, now that's secure. Now you never want to transport a machine with balls in it. You don't want to lay it down with balls in it, because then they'll roll into places they're not supposed to be and cause jams. So we're going to empty the balls. There's still a few up here. We're going to pull down on this lever, and when we do, the balls will drain. Okay, all the balls up to that point have drained out, but there's still a few here in the jackpot assembly. What you can do is there's this long rod right here. You can just pivot it up and down. Until you get all the balls out. Okay, that completes this quick start guide. We sure hope you enjoy your machine.